Hello everyone, welcome back to Warfield Motor Adventures. Speedy B here. Today I'm with the 2026 KLX300, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the throttle plate back out of the bike. After we had taken the secondary throttle plate out, we're going to take that whole unit back out, and we're going to try and remove the actuator motor. I think that's what it's called. We're going to remove the motor and those components for the secondary throttle plate. We're getting rid of all of that today. At least we're going to try to, and then we're going to test it out and we're going to see how it works. But also got a comment, someone asked like, hey, you didn't quite show how to remove the throttle plate, like actually how to remove the throttle body itself. So that's what we're going to do. We'll strip the bike, get down to the throttle plate, show you guys how to remove it, and then we're going to take that piece out, the actuator motor, for the secondary throttle plate and get that whole unit out of the bike, then test and see if it works. So let's get started. All right, so like I said, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna have to take the bodywork off. We're gonna get it down to the tank. Once we get the bike down to the tank here, then we're gonna take the bike outside and I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the throttle body. I keep saying throttle plate, the throttle body. We're gonna remove that, and then from there we're going to bring the throttle body back inside and we're going to take that actuator motor out. But first things first, let's get all this plastic off. Okay, so we're outside now, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the tank off. So to loosen it up, there's one bolt here and there's one on the other side. You loosen those and you can pick the tank up. Now there's a wire that leads to the fuel pump. This one right here, it's this guy right here. We're gonna pull this off. There's just a little tab in here. You pick up and pull the thing out and it should come out. There we go. So that wire frees up the fuel pump. I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna lift up and pull the vent hoses off. Your two gray hoses, you just pull them off. Then your last step is your fuel line. There we go. And then pull the fuel line off. There it goes. And probably gonna be a little fuel drip out, so I'm gonna try and go over here with it. And now you just take your tank off. All right, so after taking the tank off, I'm back inside. It's too cold outside for me with all that, so just decided I'm gonna bring the bike back inside and we'll do the rest in here. It'll be easier. Plus it'll be easier for me to show you guys like the step-by-step process of taking the the throttle body out in its entirety. So getting into it, you got your tank off, right? The next thing you're gonna do is you kind of have to identify sort of there's so many bits and pieces here that run, inside here, right? And a lot of them are pretty much, just electrical wires and a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna bring the camera over here and then I'm gonna kind of start pulling things off and showing y'all the different clips and things, all the wires that you're gonna have to do, and kind of where I would place them so that you can easily get the throttle body out. So let's do that. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do on this side is take the rear brake master cylinder off, or reservoir actually. Master cylinder's down here. The rear brake reservoir, get that off. Kind of just like with the secondary throttle plate, this is going to be step one. And as always, I like to put the bolts. Actually, these ones I won't. These ones I'll actually just leave out. I need a good spot for them. Okay, so then those were H5, or I think 5 millimeters in metric, and this is 10 millimeters. These were 5 millimeter Allens. This top bolt is a 10 millimeter socket. And then we're gonna pop this out its socket. So these go in here like that. And for now, I'm just gonna I'm gonna tuck this back here. So now that you're in here, the next thing, obviously, kind of like the, okay, well actually no, this is in a bad spot. So this will go down here briefly. The next thing will be, I can't get this. There we go. I'll leave that there. So the next thing is pulling this air boot out. And actually what I did with this air boot is typically, so to loosen the clamp on this side, it's pretty simple. The bolt's right here. Once you take the side panel off, this first clamp is right here. The bolt is on this side. Very easy, very nice. The other side, however, you gotta go to the other side of the bike to reach the clamp. And I was like, well, if you need to get back to that throttle body again or take this off for whatever reason, that's a pain. So I saved myself the trouble and well, this screwdriver isn't long enough, but I saved myself the extra time. I simply flipped the clamp around for this side so I can reach the bolt from right over here. And I would recommend doing that for all of you guys out there that have a KLX300. This is so much better. Done. So now we're gonna pull this boot out. So we're gonna pull here. There we go. All right, this one side. Okay. So that's our air boot duct thing removed. And then, like all of them, I'm gonna show y'all. So this was, if I can get over in there like that. And I was like, this is so dumb. It's right there. There's space to reach it. It's going like that. So that's how I have set that one up. All right, so the next one is I'm actually gonna take this, the brake reservoir bracket, and I'm gonna just kind of tuck it back over here. You've got a bundle of wires here. I would just lean this way and pick up and put over this this piece right here. That kind of helps get that out the way. The other thing you want to do now is you got to go on the other side of the bike and loosen the clamp for the throttle body, which this one I didn't flip to the other side because this one's easy to reach. The other one for that air inlet was not easy to reach with where it was. That's the only reason I changed that one around. So just getting parts lined up. So you done that. Now what I would do next, I mean, you can do some of these in any order you want, but for me, I'm gonna take the other piece of the fuel line off here. And just be careful for any fuel that's gonna drip out. There we go, just had to wiggle it a good bit to get it to go. All right. You really don't have to take this off if you don't want to, because it's not connected to the tank, but oh, whoops, should have done that outside. All right, now that that's been avoided, you got tons and tons of wires here, that you got to deal with. So one, you got this pack of wires here. I'm going to pull out of this here, this clip, and kind of get this clip out the way. Like just, take all of this and move it. Okay, so I got that out. A lot of wires here, and I'm going to show y'all. Let me take the camera off. Okay, so we got a lot of wires here. This one comes off right here, this one I'm pointing at. You squeeze and pick up on it. That's one. And then you follow this pack of wires down to here. And it's all this, because to kind of move this pack out the way, so when I originally took the throttle plate off, or throttle body off to do the secondary throttle plate, this one came out, although that's up to you if you're able to somehow squeeze the throttle body out without needing to pull it off. You've got this one. This is another one. Set the camera down real quick. There we go. All right, so this one That's another one. This one right here is another one. Just press, I think, press and pull. And that releases these. So these three all together, and they're all different from each other, so that would be easy for you to know where they go. And then there's another one back here as well that you've got to pull out. And then that allows you to take this whole wire pack and just kind of push it off to the side. So the next one we're gonna try and get is right in there. Sorry, we're gonna have to put the camera down again. So I got that out. Well, I should say I loosened it. I didn't quite get it out yet. Still fumbling to actually get it out the housing. Oh man, such a tight space here. There we go. All right, so now you can slowly lift up on these, kind of get them out. Take that back. Oh, so sorry guys. There's one more for your kickstand. That's the 5th one. So you just press down with either your nail or a tool. That's so difficult. So now all the connections have been undone. And you see, get that. Just kind of trying to get them up, get them out of the way here. Nope. Oh, man, there's more connections than I thought. There's one more down here. Let's see if y'all can see. Right there. I'm like jumping the gun here. It's like, yep, we're all good. Nope, there's another one. And another one. Okay. Now they're all connected. See, look at this wire pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that all connect to this guy right here. Plus this one that's part of this main harness piece. Then the last piece is pretty easy. You kind of go in here, need pliers. So last piece here, set of pliers or needle nose, you just undo that clip and you just pull this out. I mean, you don't really have to, but it just helps. So now after you undo all those electrical connections and things of the sort, your last thing I'm doing, which you could do this first, you could do this whenever you want, it's up to you, is your throttle cables. So you just undo this cover right here, and then pull the cover off. And you just go in and loosen these up. So there's one. Well, it's not quite out yet. Okay, there's one, now that I got it out. And, all right, come on, I get the second one. There we go. And there's the second one. So there's the throttle cables. Now, from here, let me make sure y'all can see. All right, so now that you've got everything loosened, I'd kind of try and get everything out the way as best as possible. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab it by this module here, which funny enough is what we're taking off. You turn like that, get it to the side, just kind of wiggle it up. Had it, I like just did it. And there we go. Ta-da, and you see, we already have our throttle plate removed. We're gonna move this box here that just runs the motor to spin that wire in there. So let's take it to the bench and let's get that done. All right, so now is where we take the throttle body, or not throttle body, this actuator off, and it looks like it's 8 millimeters. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in, we're gonna loosen it up. And this really is just to see what happens if you can take this off, right? Or can you, is the big thing. And does that harm the bike any? And if it does, you know, we'll put it back in, and if not, it's gonna stay out. Oh, there it goes. I don't think I was pulling hard enough. So now here it comes. Oh, jeez, I just whacked the camera. Okay. Well, so you can take the control modular out, which that's what this is. It just runs servos and tells the thing, you know, this is a position sensor, so where the position is of the throttle body. So you see it goes in there, relays a signal, and probably spins a motor as well. But so that's that piece. The other thing is now you've got this exposed dingle nut here, which is an interesting term for it, which it doesn't do anything. You know, I don't think, if you really want to, if you can take all of this out in terms of like this, because, you know, you're going to lose some crucial seal. So maybe the rod piece will have to end up staying, but this could come out. And that's really what we're testing here is could this be removed? And I hope y'all can see that. I didn't mean to hit the camera over. Okay. So that was the main thing that we were testing is, can you just remove it? Which, yes, you can. The other thing I want to see is, does this, I guess as you open the throttle, this could have a tendency to just free spin, which could lead to like your throttle getting stuck open at times. Or not open, but if this reaches like a peak, like here, maybe it hampers your throttle or something through with the vibrations. I don't think it'd be that big of an issue, because the difference between that and shut, well, it's something, but I don't know if that would be a major issue. But what we are going to do is, now that this is removed, is we're going to put this back in the bike and test, does the bike start? Are we allowed to run it, rev it? You know, we're going to see how all of that plays out. So let's get this back in the bike. All right, so got the throttle body put back in, got the fuel tank on. I do want to point out, I did leave the plate off here for the cables, just so I can watch that little drum that's in there, kind of watch what happens. But moment of truth, does it run? Work. So let's see. Well, all right, so I would call that a pretty successful test. You know, the bike started, it ran, I was able to give revs, you know, and, you know, it didn't bog, break, you know, it didn't sound like something was running funny because, you know, the part was removed. So I guess you could say, yeah, you know, you can remove, you know, your little actuator motor for the secondary throttle plate and the bike still runs. So now we're gonna put the bike back together, and then we're gonna go for a little ride just to like truly confirm that there's no issues. The only thing I do have to say though with this is that now on your little dash up here, the engine light is on. So that's the only thing you're gonna have to deal with. So we're gonna actually work on figuring out how to bypass that, like to, you know, get connectors and loops just to have that light turn off. But this is something that, you know, Dad wanted, you know, with the removing that actuator motor. He was like, you know, the secondary throttle plate is out and that part is just there. So, you know, could we just remove it and not have to deal with it? So that's what we did. It works. And he's like, you know, the light being on as of right now was fine, as long as there's nothing, you know, as long as the bike still starts and all that, there's no issues there. So, but we're going to try and, you know, in the future, coming up here. We're gonna figure out how to get that light off with connectors and plugs and tying this stuff together, kind of like that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But for this video, for the rest of this video, we're gonna put it back together and then we're gonna go for a short ride. So let's get started. All right, everyone, so we are out on the bike, just doing a quick little rip just to make sure, you know, everything is good. You know, got me this far. You know, I didn't go very far initially, but, you know, we're just gonna run around real quick, you know, just make sure everything's good, you know. I don't wanna make sure in the trails there's like no issues with the bike at all. So I do want to point out, like I mentioned, check light being on, you see, right there, because of the stuff that was removed. But it still starts, you know, I can put it in gear and ride, but, you know, hopefully this, you know, there's no issues with that, right? You know, like, I wouldn't call them long term, just make sure there's zero issues with this. So everything seems good right now, but you never know what could happen. Yeah, just really good, you know. There's no issues right now, so you know, it's you know, it's holding all of that. You know, and really what that tells you is you can, like at least on this bike, you can do that, you know. You can take some of this stuff off and, you know, not have to, you know, need all the extra components. So, you know, it works nice, and I'm glad it does, per se. You know, we got a ride coming up shortly, so we don't need any issues. All right, everyone, so thank you so much for watching the video, and that's a wrap here. So that pretty much concludes everything with, you know, that with kind of the secondary throttle plate stuff in general, and, you know, all the things we have. You know, the last bit we have with that whole piece of the secondary throttle plate is, you know, just get some plugs that we can put in to get rid of that engine light up on the dash here, because over time that's gonna get annoying. Because if there's actually a problem with the bike, we're not gonna know, because it thinks, because what if something we did already, which we know it's not a problem, but the bike doesn't know that. So yeah, I mean, successful test, it ran good, you know, no issues whatsoever. So, you know, got another part out of it from that secondary throttle plate. And, you know, if you want to do this at home, you can, or, well, if you want to do this yourself, you can too, because, you know, it doesn't harm the bike in any way, you know, aside from that code up there, or the light up on the dash. So if you know, if you're really picky about that, you know, stay tuned. You know, at some point we're definitely going to look into getting that fixed. You know, we're going to look into how can we, you know, tap wires together so that that doesn't, so that you know, isn't an issue at all. So, but yeah, that concludes the video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Speedy B here, Warfield Motor Adventure, signing out. Catch you guys in the next video. Oh, and I forgot, ride safe, enjoy every ride. Peace out.